AskReddit by Successful Plum 4834. What is a band that is ruined by one member? Lost Prophets. Don't read the court judgments. It's too sickening and sad. The remaining members later formed a band called No Devotion. They're quite good. All my solo projects. This is why I won't start my own business. My boss sucks and my employee is lazy. For my Canadians, Headley. The lead singer got caught being gross with minors, to be polite about it, and the band disbanded. I am not surprised Lost Prophets took top spot, but was fairly confident Canadians on the sub would bring up Headley. John Phillips of the Mamas and Papas. Sick. That story by Mackenzie did not surprise me at all. Went to a Guns N' Roses show in the 90s. The band members came on stage individually, each to rapturous applause except Axl. It was genuinely brutal. Saw them in Australia in the 90s and he was 2 hours late. Rest of the band had been hanging around on stage for a while waiting for him. But at one of the previous concerts on that tour, he jumped into the crowd to fight someone, while shirtless with a feather boa. There's film of it. That might have been the same concert on the outskirts of Melbourne that was so late that the buses to the venue had stopped and everyone had to walk at least 5 kilometers to find transport back to Melbourne. I thought this thread was going to be like I like the instrumental parts of Incubus but dislike the vocals, and not this band was great except this one dude was a pedo. As I lay dying, Tim Lambesis. The fact the band members spoke about how he was and Tim swore he changed only to drop a pretty good album and then tada. He hasn't changed and almost the entire band left. Even Nick Hipper, who is a humble and patient dude, called out his bullshit and left. Edit: this was after he tried hiring a hitman to kill his wife. That album they put out when he got out of prison is incredible, but he also had like 10 years to write it. 30 Seconds to Mars. Due to Jared Leto's ego and his sketchy behaviors with young female fans. When I was like 15 or so, I saw him for the This Is War release concert or whatever. They gave us all CDs to sign and he signed mine twice because he said I was so beautiful. He proceeded to ask me to stay for after and my dad flipped the fuck out and made us leave. I hated my dad for years until I realized he protected me. Fucking gross. Bobby Liebling of Pentagram. Sadly, he is what makes Pentagram so great, but as a person he is troubled to say the least. I saw Pentagram at Psycho Las Vegas 2017. Bobby no-showed, so their guitar player did all vocals. He did a great job. I reckon he is well rehearsed. Spinal Tap, the drummer. The one who died in a gardening accident, the one who choked on vomit, the one who spontaneously combusted, the one who exploded, the one who disappeared, the one who sold his dialysis machine for drugs, the one eaten by sharks, the one eaten by his pet snake, or one of the other ones? Jesus, I was gonna say AXL Rose, but there are some serious pieces of garbage in this list that I never knew about, nor ever wanted to. Man, I need a shower after combing this comment section. Yeah, I think we just go to AXL as an example of a bad bandmate and someone who didn't care about his fans. Which is kinda what the theme of this sub is. When you start bringing up criminal charges, accusations, racism and rappy culture from other bands, it kind of drowns as just being a somewhat shitty dude. I liked Sex Bob-Omb until I heard Scott Pilgrim was dating a high schooler. Luckily they replaced him with young Neil. I'm so late to the party, no one will ever see this but blood on the dance floor. Davey Vanity is a fucking predator. He released a single making fun of one of his victims going public. Fucking gross. At least J.I. Von Monroe is doing okay. They're a drag performer and they go by Dally now, and they've appeared on several seasons of the show Dragula. Anti-Flag. Fuck Justin Bieber. Link for anyone, like me, just learning about this. Music features anti-flag just insane 1,234,817,170. Take it from a lifelong musician, there's always at least one douche in the band. I used to be in a band and there were no douches in it. Just a bunch of lazy assholes who didn't respect my talent enough or work hard enough to see my vision through. Johnny Craig has been kicked out of 3 rock bands now. They are all much better for it now too, except for Emarosa, which has since then been disbanded. I took this from a musical perspective. My take is Motley Crue. Listen to the videos of Vince Neil now. It's fucking hilarious. Tommy Lee sucks too for various reasons. Maroon 5. That body of yours is absurd. I like Kiss band members who aren't Gene Simmons. Fuck that guy. I remember really listening to the bass line on I Was Made for Loving You and thinking it was surprisingly groovy and intricate. Turns out Paul Stanley played bass on that track. Literally anything Johnny Craig touches. Edit, Johnny Craig, not Johnny. Completely unrelated, but would you be interested in purchasing this used MacBook I'm selling? Lost profits. Ian Watkins is human scum, went from allegations of sexual interactions with underage fans to literal evidence of him talking with a mother about her 2-year-old. A literal baby. Especially watching the music video to A Town Called Hypocrisy, it sucks real hard when something you grew up with and loved gets tainted by a piece of shit like that. Kid Rock ruined Kid Rock. It's just so weird to listen to his earlier stuff, Devil and Pryor, and then go, yeah, that guy is a Republican country artist now. Deleted. Well, Flesh spending all those years in prison didn't help. But busy life story kinda explains his weirdness. Was kidnapped as a child, found from being featured on some show. Falling in Reverse is generally good verses and fun sing-along choruses mixed with decent rap vocals, and great post-hardcore music is pretty ruined by Ronnie Radke being, well, Ronnie Radke. The only benefit I give to Ronnie is that he acknowledges he's an asshole and doesn't want fans to aspire to be like him. Escape the Fate was also not ruined but was never the same when they had to have him kicked out. I know it seems like they've had success since Bad Situations and their first EP was so good. Craig Mabbitt was also so much hardcore in Blesstheful. I always wondered why they went such a different route with their music. Sex Pistols. Sid Vicious was a big mistake. I feel so bad for him. He had a terrible upbringing, and his own mother gave him his first hit of smack when he was 14. Dude didn't stand a chance.